With another fabulous IXL tutorial. Today we're working on O4 Classify Quadrilaterals. Alright, so a quadrilateral is a four-sided object that has different dimensions and that has a classification. Alright, let's quickly go over them to see if you are good to go. Alright, so remember, a rectangle is a four-sided object with two matching sides. They say the top and bottom are the same length and left and right are the same length. A square must be a perfect square. All four sides are the same, and all four angles are 90 degrees. A trapezoid is a four-sided object where the top and bottom may be parallel, and the other sides are not. Still four-sided. And a rhombus, which will be the case in this particular diagram, is a four-sided object where they're the same, but it's kind of like leaning to the left or the right. So in this case, it's like a square that's kind of being smushed to a side. So we're going to start with the rhombus on this one. All right. So notice here that we have an option between rhombus, rectangle, square, or a parallelogram. New word popped up is parallelogram. A parallelogram is a four-sided object that really has matching two sides. So let's say top and bottom or left and right and so forth. So rhombus, not a four-sided equal object, so rhombus is out. A rectangle must have 90-degree angles, so that one's out. This is definitely not a square, so a parallelogram will win on this one. All right, which name best describes this shape? Notice that 1, 2, 3, 4 sides are all the same, and all four angles are 90 degrees, so this must be a square. Just because it's been tilted around, it's still a square. You can have a square, on one corner, flat, whatever. But 1, 2, 3, 4 matching sides, 90-degree angle, definitely a square. What's the name that best describes this shape? 90-degree angles. 1, 2 sides match, so these two sides match as well as these sides. This looks like a rectangle here. What name best describes this shape? So we have two sides that are parallel, where two sides are not parallel, but this reminds me of another IXL we just did, and I believe those are called trapezoids. So trapezoids, where you have two sides the same, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. And by what I mean the same, I mean that they're parallel, so in the same direction, not the same length. All right, we're at 47, doing a great job on this IXL. What name best describes this shape? We have these two sides being the same length, and we have these two sides being the same length, and we do have a four-sided object. Oh, how interesting. They got a new word called a kite. Let's check the other ones and see if I haven't heard of that one before. I've heard of a kite where you fly it, but not an actual name of a shape. So a rhombus, no, because even though we have two sides match with these two sides, they have to be every other one. So rhombus doesn't work. I'm going to come back to kite. Quadrilateral is a four-sided object where all the sides really don't match here. So in this case, square. I'm going to call it kite on that one. All right. What name best describes this shape? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4-sided object, and it's all over the place. So this is not a trapezoid, not a rectangle, either a quadrilateral or a parallelogram. I'm going to call it quadrilateral on this one because all sides are different and all angles are different. A parallelogram would have matching sides, top and bottom. Like a parallelogram is like a smashed rectangle leaning to the right, to the left, or whatever you want to call it. Quadrilateral is just all over the place. All right, man, getting them all right so far. Okay, next one. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4-sided object where all the sides are different. So this could be a square, except the angles don't match. So a square where the angles don't match will be considered a rhombus. What name best describes the shape? So we have 1, 2 that are parallel, and top and bottoms here, or it's kind of weird, left or right, whatever you call it. This is like a rectangle, but it's kind of leaning. So leaning rectangles are called parallelograms. Otherwise, it'd be a rectangle. And rectangle is not even an option here anyways, and it's not a kite either, so no way. All right, 70 points. Heading for 81 today. 80 or higher. Usually 81 is what I get. What names best describe the shape? This looks like a square. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides are the same with 1, 2, 3, 4 matching angles. So that is a square. Which terms describe the shape? Choose all that apply. Okay, now all that applies. So when they say all that apply, chances are more than one is going to be correct. All right, we're going to start with the kite. A kite has two sets of matching sides. So like the front side of the kite, I guess, are matching, and the back side of the kite are matching. It is not a rectangle because lines have to be parallel. So top and bottom would be parallel, right and left would be parallel. So rectangle is definitely not a correct answer. A rhombus has to have 4 matching sides, but kind of like a tilted square. So they don't have 4 matching sides. So rhombus is a no. And it's definitely not a square because all 4 sides are not the same and not the same angle. Even though it says choose all that apply, the kite is the only right answer on this one. All right, one more question to go. What term describes the shape? Choose all that apply. A rectangle for sure. Top and bottom are parallel, left and right are parallel, and they're all right angles. Rectangles are automatically parallelograms. Parallelograms have matching, have parallel sides. So because top and bottom are parallel and right and left are parallel, that is a parallelogram. It is not a kite because 2 sides do not adjoin together when they're the same length. It's definitely not a square because all 4 sides have to be the same and have to be 90-degree angles. So rectangle and parallelogram will be the correct answer on this one. And thank you so much. This concludes IXL tutorial 04.